Alrighty, hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. We are starting out with Editing Simon here today. So, real quick, I just want to apologize for the beginning of this video. I did initially film an intro and I filmed me swatching all of the colors and some of my first impressions, but because I filmed this video so far back, some of the files got lost, so that is very annoying. I will include some of the clips of me initially swatching the watercolors, and then things will resume as normal because that is where I started, but I unfortunately do not have my intro, and I believe I don't have my very first impressions of all of the colors, so I'm very sorry for that. I will insert, obviously, like I said, a clip of me swatching them very fast, and then we will get into my first impressions of some of the other supplies, and then all of the supplies overall, so I am sorry about that. I love you guys. Please forgive me. Okay, so we are back with all of the other supplies from Wish. You guys saw me test out the watercolors a little bit earlier, and now I have everything else that I ordered. I wanted to make sure that the illustration that I created in this video was made mostly using Wish products, so I just got myself a few erasers and then some water brush pens, not knowing that the watercolor set already came with one. So wish I didn't buy these, and I extra wish I didn't buy these, but I will talk about that in just a minute. So the first thing I wanted to test out is just the pencil. It is a normal 0.5 mechanical mechanical pencil. Nothing too special about it other than that it is teensy tiny and it has teensy tiny little lead for my absolute baby hands. Like y'all can see just how tiny my hands are. If you can hear my dog barking, I am sorry. He is begging for attention today. He's been very whiny. So with that, I will just get into the sketching. Sorry, this other thing's bleeding through the page. That's like an old Instagram post. You guys have probably already seen it by now. But I'm not gonna do any like real genuine sketching with the pencil just yet. This is mostly just to test out how comfortable it is to use, which is and should be self-explanatory. The lead is a little harder than I thought it would be, but like it's pencil lead, you know. You can get you can get a pretty decent like gradient on this. Obviously it's just pretty normal lead, and I've got some erase. There's a freaking gnat bothering me. I hate you. Go away. But I have a few erasers to test out, so I'm just gonna do some little flat lays of color. And I do want to say one thing that bothers me about this pencil so far. It has nothing to do with usage or anything. What really genuinely 100% bothered me about this pencil was on the Wish listing you could choose 3 or maybe 4 colors. I think it was pink, blue, mint, and purple. I chose pink, and as you can see, this pencil is white. White was not even an option to choose from, so I don't know why I got a white pencil, and I was really hoping for a pink pencil because I've been really into pink lately. But no, alas, I got a white pencil, which isn't like it's total first world problems. Like I paid 97 cents for the pencil it's really comfortable to use so far. I'm not bothered by it being very tiny. I wasn't expecting it to be very little actually, but when I got it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be so nice for my itsy bitsy hands. And yeah, it's a pencil pretty much. So there we have this. So we are going to get into some of our erasers. So the first thing eraser wise that I ordered were these little Blossom gradient erasers. They also come in like a blue and green variant and a blue and pink variant. I just wanted a really cute eraser. I thought they were adorable, so I went and got one, and my husband already cheated and unwrapped one. I have not used them myself. My husband just wanted to see if they were a full gradient in the center. They're not. Spoiler alert. It's really sad. You just peel it off and it's like half pink, half blue with like a BB gradient right down the center, but it's not like a smooth gradient like it is on the packaging, but it's still very cute, especially if you leave it in its packaging, so I can't complain about that. And it does its job. It's an eraser. I'm not really sure what material it's made out of, and obviously it's all in Chinese, so I really can't tell if this is like wow, my brain works. Whatever those white erasers are made out of, it's like kind of like semi-transparent. So I don't know what it's made out of, but it's a pretty good eraser. Obviously, you can get it pretty white. I didn't like use the pencil very hard just because I wasn't like sure if the lead would snap. Let me see how dark I can get it. Yeah, oh wow, that's a lot more solid though. Oh, there. Of course, as soon as I say it's a lot more solid than I was expecting, it snaps. But that was me pushing almost as hard as I could, and it's pretty much going away. So that's about that. It's just another eraser. So the next thing that I have is, it's in every Wish video ever. It's this electric eraser, I guess. Yeah, electric eraser. So some of the packaging being busted is my fault. Like, I did this on accident because I dropped it on the floor, but all of these edges were not me. It literally came to me semi-busted. Luckily, around like all of the actual product, it's not really like messed up or anything at all, but around the edges it sure was busted, which was weird because it was in bubble wrap and stuff. Like, it was pretty well packaged, but it still ended up pretty busted. So I don't know if that's something that happened in shipping or if it's something that happened wherever they produce it, but I'm just gonna see if it works. I hate when this happens. This is like such a pet peeve for me, when I peel off the back and it like doesn't peel off correctly, I guess you could say, and then I have to peel and peel and peel. Super annoying. I'm gonna lose all of these eraser pieces immediately. Oh, yep, yeah. So those are going all over the place. So I think, was it Super Ray Dizzle that mentioned this in her video? It has two oh, I'm losing eraser bits. There's two sizes. There is the itsy bitsy small one and the just regular medium sized erasers. And then I assume you put the end pieces in here and then you stick it in the eraser, but obviously it already has one in it right now. I don't know if it needs me to insert a battery or if it comes with one. It does not, so I will be right back and go get a battery. Okay, so we are back with batteries, and I just want to say, when you get this, be sure, number one, that you have AAA batteries, because it's a AAA battery operated thing and it does not come with them. But also, do not throw away your packaging, because I was looking all over on this thing to figure out which way I'm supposed to place the batteries, and there's no plus sign or minus sign anywhere on the entire product, and the only way I found out how to install them was because it was on the back of the packaging. So if you're relying on this to tell you where the batteries go, don't, because it's not there. So now I think it should be pretty self-explanatory. I just hold this button down. Wow. Oh, that's powerful. So yeah, you just hold it down and it starts spinning. And then I guess you just... Oh, you can't push down very hard. So I'm pushing very lightly. It's kind of like using a Dremel, but it is... Wow, it's very cool. Yeah, I'm very, very lightly pressing because when you push hard, it just stops. If you were to use this at the weight that you would a normal eraser, it would not work at all. But keep it light and it really goes away. That's crazy. I'm gonna try to write like, oh, I wonder, okay, so this technically is not like a Wish product, but I just want to see how good it erases color pencil, because y'all know normally I sketch in color pencil. I'm not doing that for this video obviously because we have the Wish pencil to test out, but I just want to see how good it would erase. And then I'm gonna do like a normal, like how I would normally line or a sketch and see how well this will erase it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so obviously it's still a little purple, but it's still very white. And that was me coloring like really hard, so I'm sure this sketch... Wow. I gotta get used to being light-handed. That is a little bit annoying because you just want to like press and like erase like a normal person, but you do have to keep it like very light-handed and just keep going over the same area, which is kind of annoying, but also like I get it. I guess it does have like, obviously it's like vibrating if you put this. Okay, were any of you guys the type of kid who in school you would just like challenge you and your other friends, and don't do this if you're a child watching my channel, but also if you're a child watching my channel, please don't, because the new what FDA rules or something, they're scaring me. This is not, it's a family friendly channel, I suppose you could say, but this video is not for children. This is for other artists, aspiring artists, more likely adults. I'm not targeting children. So if you're a baby, stop watching my videos and stop listening also to what I'm about to say. But were you guys the type of kid in school to challenge your other friends to like eraser burn yourselves? Because I did that all throughout elementary school, and I was testing to see if this could like hurt you like a normal eraser would, but also because it's like, you know, spiraling, you can still see where I did it on my hand, but it burns. Like if you hold down, obviously if you put a lot of pressure, but if you just let it sit on the surface, it gets hot and it like burns. So if you have one of these, not telling you to do this, but also literally like this hurts, and if you want to hurt your friends, don't do it. But this would be a good weapon of choice, but don't do it. Anyways, so that is it for the electric eraser. I can see if I can try to figure out how exactly you're supposed to switch the ending out, because like this is metal and this is plastic, and I don't know necessarily what you're supposed to do. I imagine you like stick the eraser in there, and then that's what you do, I guess. I don't know if you guys saw me do it on camera, so let me do it one more time. I'm just like inserting it, and it looks like it would just fall out, but it's not. But also you can like squeeze it, so I'm assuming when you put it in there, it squeezes it. I'm gonna read the back to see. Replace rubber, pull out the rubber clip after, I guess. Okay, then pull out the back. These are very clear instructions. It just says pull it out and put a different one in. So I'm gonna pull it out. And do you like, I'm just gonna assume this is, I don't know if I'm doing this right, so don't follow my example necessarily, but I think you just, it doesn't, what are these for? It shows, do I put this around this and then stick it in there? This does not seem correct. This looks weird. I don't know what's happening. I don't understand the instructions because it essentially is like, pull it out. Now put it in and use it. And I'm like, but how do I put it in? It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. I don't think. Unless it's not supposed to go in the black thing, but I don't speak Chinese and the English instructions are very, very confusing. Okay. So I'm assuming this last one is saying if you need to use the tiny one. It just says if you need to use the tiny one, follow 1, 2, and 3. It's not working. So I guess I will figure out how to do that later. And I will show you guys if I have any successful attempts. Now, I think that's how far it was in. Yeah, I don't know how that whole thing works. But yeah. That's the electric eraser. It seems kind of gimmicky, but also at the same time it does seem pretty interesting. So now, the final thing that I've been waiting for this whole video, let me get these erasers out of the way and get back into the watercolors so I can show you guys why I'm a little bit ticked off. So now, for the epic conclusion of the supplies, I suppose you could say, we have these water brushes. Now, I'm sure you can guess a few reasons why I'm quite disappointed in these brushes. So it is a classic Wish thing to show you a picture of something and then you get it and it is not at all what you ordered. So when I initially bought these water brushes, I thought I was getting the Ohuhu water brush set where, you know, you get the 3 round brushes and the 3 square brushes, and I was so excited about the square brushes. You have no idea, because obviously I've been getting into watercolor these past few, like, I guess this past year, I guess you could say, and oh god. So I don't use regular brushes with my watercolors. I tend to use watercolor brushes just because I find them to be a lot easier and a lot more beginner friendly than me trying to figure out the water ratio to an actual brush. I'm not Casey Golden. I love her, but I don't know. I just find it a lot easier to use watercolor brushes, and obviously with the Pentel set, at least not the one that I have, there's no square brushes, there's just various sizes of round brushes. So I was like, whoa, a square brush? I need. And it was only like, I want to say maybe $4. It could have been different, I don't know, my brain's escaping me as far as prices goes. I will put the prices to everything I attempted to purchase them for in the description. They might be at a different price now, but I think I can look back at my order history. Anyway, I'm rambling. They had the picture of the Ohuhu brush set with the square brushes and the round brushes, and I ordered the 6-pack thinking, oh, if you order the 3-pack, it'll only be the round brushes, because I didn't read the product info, and that's my bad. So literally, when you're ordering from Wish, read the product info, because in my case, I'm always somebody that reads reviews, and the reviews did not help me because they did not say, like, hey, these ain't the right brushes. They were just like, great water brushes. And I was like, great water brushes? They must be great water brushes. So I ordered it. I got the 3 round brushes. I was like, all right, everything's good. I got 3 more round brushes. And they're also somehow a different size than this set, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. I'm gonna get them out because, like I said, I wanted this to be a first impressions for you guys, so I really don't know exactly what size these are, but in the packaging, it looks like it's the same or it looks like they're slightly different. Or my brain's not working. Sorry, I'm trying to open this, so it's like, ugh. So let's get these bad boys out of here. I'm presuming they're either the same set or like just more round brushes in various sizes. I don't know if it's because they're manufactured differently or whatever. But yeah, so there's these three that I do not have water in yet. There's a medium, a large, and a fine. And the bristles they seem really soft, and they're not really, oh, there they go. They weren't really coming apart, which was kind of concerning, but now they are. So there's that. There's these three sizes, and then I have the, oh, actually, I don't know if you guys could have even seen that on camera. So there's these three sizes. I think this is the biggest. I'll organize them according to size for y'all. So there's these three, and then the three that I have. I think they might be the same size. I think that was just, what is on this? There was like some stuff on the tip of this one. I brushed it off, but that was weird. So there's that. And yeah, I think they're the same sizes. My brain was just playing tricks on me. But mostly, I'm ticked off that I didn't get any square brushes. And I'm even more ticked off at how friggin' tiny they are. Like, I know I said with the pencil, it was really nice and really convenient because I'm super tiny small and a small brush would be beneficial to me, but not when it comes to watercolor, because like even my Pentel, what are you trying to focus on, camera? Calm down, please. Okay, I'm just gonna set them down. Why are you freaking out? Okay, had some focusing issues, but I fixed it. Anyways, like I was saying, a smaller pencil is fine, but a smaller water brush means less water, which means less like things I can do before I have to get up and go and refill. The one that came with the package or with the watercolor is massive, especially in comparison. Like, this is how much water you're getting, right? Keeping my hand up. That's a third, maybe close to a half of the brush that just comes in the set. So like, just skip the brushes altogether. They're a total waste. But let's let's check, I guess, at least the quality of these brushes. Maybe I can compare them to my Pentel set or my Sakura Koi, and already it's like, this is so hard to squeeze. Also, something I noticed, there was no fill line, like a max fill line, to tell you how much water you could or could not put in the brush, so I didn't know how much to fill it, and also it's just really hard to squeeze, so it's hard to tell how much water I'm getting out. But we're gonna dip them in there, and yeah, that's a water brush, but it's, I don't know how to feel about these, because it's like, yeah, you're a water brush, but also you're very tiny, you're very hard, I don't know. I don't know if I like these. I don't know if it's because I'm bitter about the whole not having a square brush thing, but I think the sizing in general too is just not my favorite thing in the world. And also the bristles are kind of, I don't know, they're kind of wonky. I don't know how to explain it. You can kind of get a fine tip, but you also kind of can't. Like, I don't know if you'll see it on camera, but it doesn't ever go back to like a normal fine point. It looks like a fine point, but it's like flat, if that makes sense, on the top. So I don't know how that's gonna be if anybody wants to do line work, especially let's try doing some line work with the teeny tiny thing. My brain's not working. I'm so mad about everything about these, but hopefully I can at least get some good stuff out of these. So yeah, you can kind of get a fine thing. I guess you can do some line work with it. They're not horrible horrible brushes, and you do get what you pay for, obviously. These, I certainly got what I paid for. I love these so much, and they were the most expensive thing. So I'm excited to get to finally use them in a complete illustration for you guys at a later date, but that is the rest of the supplies. So I will get back to you guys later with a full illustration. And as for the supplies, obviously, I like all of the erasers. They're erasers, they do a good job. Kind of don't like that I don't know how to change the tip on the electric eraser, but I'm sure I can Google maybe like a tutorial for it or something and just see what I can do there. Obviously, the watercolors are amazing and I'm obsessed with them and I can't wait to use them more. Very excited about those. The pencils, it's a pencil, it's very tiny, it's very cute, very comfortable to use. Lead's good, I can put whatever lead I want in it. So honestly, even though technically it's not from Wish, I could replace that lead and put in my red lead if I wanted to. Oh wait, no I can't. See, I knew I was gonna make that mistake. I ordered 0.5, my lead's 0.7, so I guess I have to suffer. But yeah, so mostly supplies are great. The water brushes obviously are ticking me off, but they will work for this video. That's just a reminder to always read the product descriptions of everything you order so you don't get screwed over like me. And I will see you guys in the illustration. Okay, so now we are getting into the actual illustration portion of this video, if you can call it that. As you guys will see by the end of this video, I actually do not finish the illustration because I got really frustrated with the supplies, and rather than restarting and doing like a fake first impressions of using my Wish supplies and only my Wish art supplies, I would like to show y'all that artists aren't perfect, and sometimes we can't make good art with supplies that we just got. And obviously I didn't have things to clean up this illustration, like I didn't get any fine liners or colored pencils, which is a mistake in hindsight. I really wish I would have got some of those instead of getting those stupid itsy bitsy water brushes. But I thought it would just be a good idea to show you guys that we make mistakes and that not every illustration we make is going to come out perfect, especially when we are using a bunch of new supplies. So as you guys can clearly tell from the actual first impressions, not me doing the illustration, but me like swatching them and messing around with them and stuff, I like all of the art supplies except for the water brushes individually, and I don't really mind using all of them. It's just apart from the erasers, obviously, because erasers are erasers, using them all together just did not work for me. The pencil was obviously, it was a pencil, but it was like, I didn't think about like, oh, this is a pencil and watercolor, and once I erase, it's not going away, and I didn't give myself anything to line with, so I'm going to have to try to line with the fine point water brush, and I'm just going to end up struggling, and oh, God, my chair. I most certainly did struggle with that. So the first thing I will say, y'all already know I hate the water brushes, but let me tell y'all how much more I hate the water brushes. So in my initial, I suppose it technically counts as a swatch. I don't really know if you can like swatch a water brush, I guess. But when I was like testing out how fine the point was, I was like, oh, you could probably do some line art with this, and I was wrong. I tried lining the shirt and it just kept getting like too thick. If I wanted a dense is an opaque amount of color on the water brush, it like weighed down the tip, if that makes sense, and it like thickened out, and I was like, what is going on? Why aren't you being fine? Like, why is this not a fine point anymore? It's like an orb almost, or like a circle rather than just like a very teeny like cone tip. It just like was spreading out almost, and I couldn't get it to be a fine point, and then I ended up smudging it, and I was like, okay, well, forget the line art for the shirt, I guess, and I filled that in, and that was all fine and dandy. And I just, I don't know. I couldn't get a fine point on it, so I just started going into um, trying to lay down some flat colors and hopefully getting to a point where, like, oh, if they dry down, then I can try to do line art on top of it if that's something that will work for me. And then I know I don't have the best experience per se with watercolor, so I don't know if it was because, like, I wasn't laying down the colors right or I wasn't getting enough paint on the brush, but they were just looking really sheer as opposed to the swatches. And I am going to experiment more with the watercolors because, like I said, I do like them. I don't think they're chalky. They do look a little bit sheer while I'm working on the illustration. I don't know if that's just because I was having a bad art day or if it's because using them on an actual full-blown piece proves that they're not actually as great as I think they are. I think they're still great. I'm gonna keep trying with them. I promise I'll do a video with them in the future, hopefully. But I was really struggling with them. They weren't putting down colors like they were when I was doing the swatches, so I was getting really frustrated with that. And then they kept bleeding into each other because they weren't drying as fast as I thought they would, and that's my bad. But it was just another layer of frustration on top of everything else that I was doing. And then here came the real struggle when it came to the watercolors. Apart from the freaking brushes never doing what I wanted them to do, there are like 3 things about these watercolors that I can't stand when I'm working on an actual piece. So, the first thing I noticed is it's really frustrating when you're using multiple colors. So like for her skin, I obviously had to open multiple different layers of the like little sections so that I could get the right colors to mix a like peachy kind of color for the character. And you can't close these when they're wet because they smear everywhere and they actually get stuck. I don't know if you guys can see in the video, or I don't know if the camera was turned on when I was trying to first get it open and started, but I used that wine color that I keep saying that I'm obsessed with and that I used for the base in her shirt in this video. It was literally like glued shut because I closed it when it was wet and I shouldn't have, even though I let it dry for literally like 3 hours like from the swatches. I let it dry for a very long time and it still did that. So that was really frustrating, but I managed to get it open. However, knowing that I can't close it while they're wet, I was having to sit there and try to maneuver around a bunch of wet paint pans, and I couldn't close any of them, and it was starting to get really frustrating because when I film, I'm in a confined space, obviously, because I have to stay on camera, and so having it like that all open and spread out and in my face, very annoying. The second thing that I really did not like is these pans aren't labeled necessarily, and so colors look very different in the pan than they do when you swatch them. There are a lot of colors that when you swatch them, they're in the pan, they're very dark, and then you swatch them and they're a crazy different color. For example, her hair. I thought it was orange, or I thought it was brown, and I swatched it, and it's orange. It's bright orange. I thought it was going to be a nice, like, chocolate brown color. It was not. Then I did another brownish color that I assumed was brown, and it was not brown. No, it was just a darker orange, and I was like, why? Where is brown? Please help me. I don't understand. Where's the brown? I just want a brown, please. I don't know if it was, I don't even remember if there was a brown. It's been a while since the swatches and filming this video, so there could have not been a single brown. But yeah, so that was really annoying. And the final thing that bothered me was the water brushes. Again, not just the fine point, but trying to work with how hard they were. They were very hard to get water out of and just like keep it flowing, I guess. I don't know if it was because there's little to no water in them, but at the same time, the barrel is just rock solid almost, and so to squeeze it to get the water out is really annoying, and it takes a lot of time to actually get it flowing and doing what you want. So that was really frustrating, and at a certain point, I was just like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. This illustration is not working. All of these supplies are like starting to really get on my nerves. And so I gave up, and I was like, this is a good opportunity to show y'all that not everything turns out exactly how you want it to turn out. So I hope you guys liked this video despite not getting the best art piece out of it. I promise next week's video will be way better, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little experiment. Don't let this scare you from getting art supplies from Wish, by the way, because I do think individually these art supplies can work, except for the water brushes, and I know I can have fun with them eventually. I just think it's better to do them individually rather than all together all at once for the first time ever. But again, thank you. Don't be shy to check out Wish. It's really good. I love you guys, and don't forget, if you want to help support me, you can check me out on Patreon at patreon.com/SimonAESArts, and you can get a ton of cool prizes like tiled wallpapers, illustrated wallpapers, commission discounts, free line art, and your name at the end of this video with awesome people like Elise Thompson. So thank you, Elise, for continuing to support me every single month. I love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all next Sunday. Bye.